Hello everyone, welcome to Mark Bank. Let us try to understand the difference between who and whom. Before we go and start analyzing the difference between who and whom, I would like you to understand first that there is something called verb. The word verb has come from Latin verbum and this means action. And without having an idea of action, a sentence cannot be formulated, is it not? Hence, a sentence cannot be formed without having a verb. So, a sentence is incomplete and hence it needs to have a verb. Alright. So, now if an action is being performed, say there is this verb and action is being performed, somebody who must be doing this action, he who does the action is known to be the subject of the verb. This is the person who does the action. There must be someone who is receiving this action. He who or she who receives the action is known to be the object of the verb. Very simple example that I would like to quote is I love you. So love is the verb, that is the action. Who is doing this action? I, hence I is the subject, and who is receiving this? You is the receiving it, hence you is the object of the verb. So we understood that a verb is an action. He who performs the action is the subject of the verb, and he who receives the action is known to be the object of the verb. Now, verb is of two types. One is transitive verb. Transitive verb must have subject and object both. Now, without having a subject, we cannot have a sentence. Hence, subject will be there for sure. But a transitive verb will also be having an object. I'll make you understand by taking some examples. First, let's try to understand the second type of verb, that is intransitive verb. Intransitive verb. So, intransitive verb may not have an object. So it is not necessary for an intransitive verb to have an object. Let us take this example. Say for example, I go. I go itself is a complete sentence. Go is the action, hence it is a verb of the sentence. I is the subject, hence we have got subject and verb. The sentence is complete. The verb go can survive without having an object, hence go is an intransitive verb. Another one could be I eat, or say I sleep. Eat, sleep, go, they are all intransitive verb. Why are they intransitive verb? Because they can survive without having an object. But transitive verbs cannot survive without having an object. It must have an object. Now, what if I write, say I go to school? Why? Now, school is something that's a destination. Now we need to put to over here. To is not to be a preposition. Over here don't write I love to you. Why you do not write I love to you? Because you don't have to establish a relationship between a transitive verb and its object. It is already there. But if a child has to go to school, the child or I go itself is a complete sentence, and if it has to be enhanced any further, we need to bring preposition. That is why we call I go to school, but we do not say that I love to you. We only write I love you. I hope that we are getting this very clearly, that there is a verb, that is an action. Without having an action, a sentence cannot be formulated. Number two, this verb needs to have a subject. It must have an object. Without subject and a verb, a sentence cannot be formulated. We saw verbs are of two types: transitive verb and intransitive verb. A transitive verb needs to have an object. It cannot do without having an object. Have you ever heard of a sentence called I love only? We don't say I love. Or I kicked. Or I slapped. Do we understand this? These are incomplete sentences. So in order to complete them, these verbs need to have an object necessarily. How about intransitive verbs? Intransitive verbs can survive without having objects. But yes, if one wants to bring an objective case into relationship, then a preposition has to come into the picture. I will try to make you understand the rest of the cases. So what I wanted to, before we finish this video, I wanted you to understand that who is the subjective case, and whom is an objective case. So whenever a verb requires a subject, who should be used, and whenever a verb requires an object, whom should be used. I hope you're getting this very clearly. I'll see you in some other video. Till then, bye bye and take care.